So then the apology is not because you confer on yourself or you confer yourself to be a king?
I'm not a king.
Okay.
I am Ezigbo Ghana, the chief of Igbo community in Ghana, the leader of Igbo community in our culture and tradition.
Then 2012, then I accepted it.
Okay.
To be the first ever Igbo diaspora throne in Ghana, king in Ghana. And to God be the glory, I was made the Igbo throne in Ghana. The Igbo king in Ghana.
Is he an Igbo royal in Nigeria?
No, he's not. He came here as an Igbo businessman selling cassettes.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you.
Cassettes?
Cassettes.
And he made millions of CDs to buy land?
He did not make millions of CDs. He brought in a lot of prostitutes.
Prostitutes?
Ladies. You know the Nigerian ladies on the, what do you call it, cycle and all that?
I don't understand.
You don't know the syndicates of this Nigeria.
So he came selling cassettes, then he brought in...
Then they started trafficking...
Night workers?
Night workers, and now they started bringing Igbo boys, parading himself as the king.
But how does that make him rich?
Because they pay dues to him.
Who pays dues to him?
All these Nigerian boys who have shops in Nigeria, in Ghana here, the Nigerian boys with shops in here, they pay dues to their king.
From traditional rulers to the queens to the government of Ghana. If Ghana did not give us the opportunity to do well, to establish Igbo throne here in the diaspora, we will not have this opportunity. But they made it possible for we to live well with them. It was so interesting to know that the Igbo throne in Ghana is also gazetted and inducted in the system here in Ghana. Interesting to know that the Igbo throne in Ghana is also gazetted and inducted in the system here in Ghana. Interesting to know that the Igbo throne in Ghana is also gazetted and inducted in the system here in Ghana. If the people did not love us, they will not give us this.
The news conference that you organized, when you addressed the press, you apologized to the Ghanaian people. What for?
Because the fake information that the bloggers put on the internet that has generated too much heat, that they linked up to my name, that I want to build a kingdom in Ghana, which is not true.
Okay.
This has also made the people out there thinking that Ghanaians are against Nigerians because of the fake information that the bloggers are putting in, as if there is an attack on Nigerians, as if there is an attack in my home, as if there is that Nigerians in Ghana are in panic. So it's a fake information, and they attach my name to it, that I made a statement that I want to build a kingdom in Ghana, which is not true. So I now said, sincere apologies to the president of Ghana and the people of Ghana for this fake information that my name is attached to it. Because the word calls I'm receiving from all over the world as if I'm not alive. As people are calling, there's panic. People will be saying, are you sure you guys are safe in Ghana? You know, it doesn't sound good. But the bloggers that has generated this fake information, some put videos together, see people are protesting in Ghana, is so bad. As long as they mention my name there, which is not true. So I said, apologies for such fake information that people have tagged my name to it.
So then the apology is not because you confer on yourself or you confer yourself to be a king?
I'm not a king.
Okay.
I am Ezigbo Ghana, the chief of Igbo community in Ghana, the leader of Igbo community in our culture and tradition.
Was the nomenclature king emanating from your palace, as you call it, or it's from the bloggers?
It's from the bloggers.
So you have never called yourself king before? King of the Igbo people in Ghana?
That is a question that had a lot of answers. You see, when you say the name king, that is our local language. In our local language, when you say Eze, Eze, we have Eze as a name. People can call their children Eze. My first son is called Eze, Chidemeze. But there is also Eze in our language that had to do with kingship.
Right.
Just like people answer Nana as a normal name, answer Ni as a normal name, but these names are also attacked.
Take it away, guys.
Your Royal Highness, Dr. Chokode. I'm very happy today to get this chance to participate with you and your people.
Wow, President Kufuor placing the Igbo king.
Of the Igbo New Yam Festival.
New Yam Festival.
And also the Igbo Day.
Igbo Day.
Ghana.
Ghana.
Since your assumption of office as the leader of the Igbo community in Ghana 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
You've exhibited a very creative and innovative leadership.
Innovative leadership.
That is very worthy of commendation. In particular, the power interculturalism in the diaspora. Also sponsored many charitable support for the communities. I want to congratulate you today and commend you to Ghana and also to your people both here in Banato and Nigeria for the exemplary leadership you show. I pray also that the good Lord continue to shower you.
Let's shower you. Adafo. Oman Penny Kufuor. And praise the Igbo king. One of us Montias here. Was it John Dramani Mahama, a friend, Your Highness? Who found a big kind friend, Your Highness? Praise you, congratulate you. Adafo, and one of my and more somebody propaganda, and politics. Yen name is Muhammad on Obuadie. We are Kuala Obu, Beni Obu. What's in the baby now about also weird or Henia? Who foregrow a penny? I will bet my own Muhammad, Your Highness. One of Muhammad and Kofani, Uncle Bonnie Dean to us here. There be. And this medical catcher was a young truck constitution. And to your Pumla and Raya Juma.
If you start with one bottle, you sell, you add profit. Before you know what's going on, you have 4, 5, 10 bottles and all that. That's how I started my life. And today, to God be the glory, I am where I am today. I started our life from that 1995. Then 1998, I met my wife. That happened to be one of your sisters. She's a Ghanaian from Birua. So we also team up together, keep working hard together. We married ourselves. And today we are living together for 28 years. With about 5 biological children.
I see. So it's not true that you came to Ghana with nothing and just selling cassette.
I've never said cassette in my life before. Why coming from Ghana, I come with goose. Every Boman, when you are a trader, we do sell land to put money in business. In villages, we sell land in village to put money in business so you can start your life. We are people of patience. You can start selling pure water. From pure water, you migrate to bottled water. From bottled water, you can divert to other businesses. We are people of patience. So I've never said cassette before. That's why I'm telling you that Mr. Ayasa Irega is speaking what he doesn't even know of. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. Ask him in his life if he have sat down with me like this. No. You can't just go and conk stories and you're talking against somebody like that. It's unfair. Nobody does that. It's unfair.
His accusations include the fact that your wealth does not only come from whatever business you do. Today you are telling us it's mother care, where you sell children clothes, or children products, but it comes from the sex trafficking and then robbery of sorts, because it says anytime the boys are in trouble, it's you they call.
Listen, I'm the leader of my community. If my people have problem, they called me. I'll look into the matter. We'll have a welfare department. We'll look into the matter and know if it's a matter that had to do with crime, we'll have our hands. We'll tell the authorities to take care of that. If you go down to most of my messages, I keep saying it. If you're a Nigerian, you commit crime, let the law of the land take care of that crime. So, as we are sitting down here, I believe some of this crew, I don't know how your leadership is here, and any of them call you that is in circle has problem. Would you go and check? You go and check and know why I have problem. Even if you can't check, you can send somebody to go and check. That's what makes you a leader. So as long as you're a leader, as long as you're a leader of a community, the responsibility of the welfare of the people should be one of your priorities and your work. So if people have problems and they call me, you know, we are foreigners. Sometimes people have immigration problem, they have problem in the market, they have problem within themselves, and also we have this structure also to settle our disputes within ourselves. You know, sometimes some minor issues, people might even call police against their brothers or their sisters. But as long as we have this structure, you don't need to go to police. Come around, let the elders look into the matter and solve the problem for you. So when he said sex, whatever, that is, I don't want to use a language that will look so irritating, but everything he said about me is 100% wrong. And that's defamation of character.
Defamation.
And I'm not happy with that.
So is your wealth from Madake?
I've run so many businesses in my life. I have also businesses in Nigeria.
I do want us to stick with that subject a little bit more, because when you tell me that, of course, when the young men are in trouble, and I agree with you, it's not the first time you're saying if you break the laws, the law will deal with you.
Of course.
But it also tells me that you are a very influential man in this community called Ghana. Would you agree that you are influential?
Madam, people know me and I know people. Today you are meeting me. Have I met you before?
No.
But today we are meeting. And I know most of your workers here, right? So if you're a progressive man, you must have links. You must meet people. You must have friends. If you're a progressive man, it cannot just be like a snail that has no cover.
Foreign ministry, Akujato, if you are listening, listen very well. Watch your ministry very well, especially the passport office. Nigerians have invaded the passport office and are taking our passport and spoiling our names.
Oh,
they are taking our passports, calling themselves Nigerians, and getting Ghanaian passport to use to do their business, and they are destroying our names. So the king and chiefs, they should know what they are doing, because what they are doing, outright sale of our property, is wrong. NDC is in power. 6 months ago it was MPP. Don't forget, where you sit today, tomorrow you will not be there. Leave something for people to remember you.
exactly.
Do something for Ghanaians to be proud of you. We are here today. How many people talk about Akufo-Addo again? President Akufo-Addo, we are forgetting about it.
So
soon, 6 months, 7 months is gone.
Gone.
It's not even up to a year.
No.
So if you are sitting on the chair,
Yeah, I was surprised.
But when you spoke with Ablade TV in March, again, you said the bloggers were taking what you're saying out of context. So I'm trying to understand that it would appear that you should have known that this was getting out of hand, but you continued to hold yourself out as a king for a while before issues got to where they are.
You're still not getting me. You're still not getting me. I don't want to. I don't want us to be repeating questions that I've given answer to it. Okay, excuse me, madam.
So let me try it again.
Yeah, yes. Just if we keep repeating questions you have asked several times, that means
we are not making progress.
Yeah, we're not making progress. Yes.
Okay, so let's try again.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that in March, if you say it happened recently, and I'm pointing to the fact that you had an interview which was published on March 2nd. Now, in this interview with the blogger, there seemed to have been you raising that issue again, that bloggers are misconstruing what you're saying. So it is not true when you tell me that it only started recently. This is something that had been boiling for a while and you ignored.
That's not the issue.
That's not the issue.
The issue is very simple. 3 weeks ago, before I traveled to Abuja, a journalist sent me a link. So, Your Majesty, check this link. When I opened it, I now saw this blogger called Cyrus. Now, he raised a whole lot of hate speech there against the Igbos. He said, I want to be the kingdom in Ghana. He said, I made myself a king. He said a whole lot of issues. You should see that video and all that. This is the video that generated this dust. Now, I think I saw this on Wednesday while my trip to Abuja. No, I saw it on Thursday. My trip to Abuja was on Friday, being on the 4th, yeah? If I can, the 4th or 4th, yeah? Then I traveled. I was in Abuja. This issue of noise everywhere, internet, my name and the whole lot, talking about Igbo kingdom in Ghana. And that particular video where I spoke about village was also on air. And if you look at it, the village I spoke about, not kingdom. Quickly I have to fly back. I was supposed to come back on the 14th, but I flew back on the 8th. So that just my family was in serious tense. My wife, BP went up because of those internet pressure here and there.
Right.
So I flew back. So that's why I said, it's since these 3 weeks that this dust
has gathered.
Yes,
has gathered.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we know that you went to the NIB a few times.
Yes.
We'll talk about what happened with there. And then how many sub-chiefs do you have?
I have about, I think, 8.
8. They're spread across the country?
Yeah.
I see. And you need all these sub-chiefs to be able to put the Igbo people together?
Yes.
Don't you think that this network of chieftaincy you have created contradicts when you say, look, I just want to do things for my people and we don't mean to break the laws of Ghana?
No, to me, no, because our community are living there. There are many. So we need an arrowhead that will be able to control them, for them not to do things that is prohibited. And we, the Igbos, who believe so much in leadership, we are submissive to leadership a lot. If there's problem within ourselves, we should know where to go. And when we take that problem there, they will summon everybody and we listen to ourselves, listen to our elders and solve problem within ourselves. So it's not that it's spread across for evil purpose or it's spread across for we to break the laws. No, we have not broken laws. Rather, we are doing the best we can for our people to know that they are not supposed to break the laws of Ghana. We educate them. That's why we also have different town hall meetings. We educate our people. We talk to them. Don't do X, Y, Z. If you do X, Y, then the law will catch you up. As we are here to do your business, to do your trading, be submissive to the laws of the land and go about your business and go home.
So talk to me, right? Historically speaking, I have learned that the Igbos don't necessarily have a chief. They are ruled by a council of elders.
The what?
They are ruled by a council of elders. And that Igbos don't necessarily have a chief.
No, it's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Okay.
100% not true.
Hang on. So in Nigeria, all the Igbo tribes, Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, they all have.
Oh yes.
I see.
They all have chiefs.
I see. We have also seen the impact this has had on the Ghanaian people and the Nigerian people. Things that started online, we're starting to hear people think that Nigerians or Igbos in particular are under attack in this country. Do you take responsibility for that?
I cannot take responsibility for that because I'm not the bloggers that created the fake information. I cannot take responsibility for that. Rather, they are even destroying my name for nothing. They are destroying my name when I did not commit crime. You are saying that I'm building a kingdom that is not true. I'm not being any kingdom, and I did not make any statement that I'm being a kingdom. So they are rather, even those that are doing that, they owe me apology. Those that are destroying my name, they owe me apology. Those people also owe apology to this great and powerful nation, Ghana, and the people that they have broke up their mind thinking that what they're saying is true. Madam, we are on earth. If you are my sister, that you live in Nigeria, you live abroad, you now saw your brother in internet with a whole lot of protesters with his picture that right in his house they are destroying, and the place is not his house, and you know this is not your brother's house, this is somewhere. How will you feel? So they are the one causing the tension, they are the one causing the problem, they are the one tearing the two nations apart, not me. I didn't commit any crime. If they say I want to be the kingdom, it's not true. It's the village I talked about. So whatever that happened in the internet, I am not the one that did it, and I am not the one that put them together. Will I come up on the internet and say somebody's attacking me? Nobody attacked me. So I can't take responsibility of that. It is those internet bloggers. Even I'm pleading to the state security to look into these dangerous bloggers that put up these dangerous informations. They need to, I'm pleading with them to fish them out. Let them come and explain why would they put and conjure pictures and videos together when they know it's not true. They are the one causing panic to the nation, not me.
Igbos are very free in Ghana, maybe even freer than in Nigeria.
By the special grace of God, we are free both in Nigeria and in Ghana, and we love Ghana.
What do you say to the Nigerian people who are on edge now, thinking that you are being attacked here?
I said this before in my press conference. Please, my fellow Nigerians, anywhere you are in the world, I want you to know that the authority of Ghana are seriously on this matter. The authority of Ghana are protecting Nigerians in Ghana, not only Nigerians, every foreigner, Ghanaians. We are not under attack. Nobody came to my house for protests. Nobody has gone to any Igbo man, any Nigerian man house for protest. These things are internet makeup. That is not for real. So anywhere you are, be rest assured that the nation are protecting us because we did not do anything wrong as regards to the allegation given to us that we are building a kingdom in Ghana.
Are you king?
I'm Eze Chukwu Dijudihenetu, the chief of Igbo community in Ghana. The king, the interview I had with the Crystal TV, and going back for payment, land was on litigation. We didn't pay again. Till today, there's no land who are acquired there. So they took my statement and they will invite me again when there is need.
I see.
Then I left.
And that's just been it since
Yes.
then.
Then I went to national security because they also invited me in December. So I went there, and also they interrogated me also after several hours. Then they also gave me bail. Then asked me to come back again on Thursday next week.
Okay.
That's it.
I see. One of the reasons we are told you've been invited by these intelligence agencies, according to Hassan Ayariga, a political figure you may now be very much aware of in this country, he's accused you of being a fraud and a sex and human trafficker who is disguised as a businessman. How do you respond to these accusations?
You have to prove it. You have to prove it. You can't accuse somebody of what is not right. That defamation of character. Defamation of character. I don't even know who he is. I see him, presidential candidate. He's not my friend. I've not come across him anywhere in my life. So for him to be on air, even saying that he ordered national security to arrest me, he ordered them as who? He ordered them as my friend, or he ordered them as he is the president of this great nation, or he ordered them as he is a judge or what. So even some certain utterances he put there, it's not even how he's supposed to talk. as a public figure. So for him to say that, that is a defamation of character. And I left him for God.
Okay.
That is a very wrong statement for him to say, where on earth, what are the evidences you have about this? You should bring the evidence to that telling me that I've been to woman trafficking and to whatever. That is a statement that has too much of alarm in it. And that's wrong. You can't deform somebody like that. I can also stand somewhere and say he's an armed robber. But if I don't have evidence, will I say something like that? It's a wrong statement he made.
Did the National Intelligence Bureau speak to you about that?
No, that was not the purpose of inviting me. Okay. The purpose of inviting me is because of this thing,
Kingdom issue
that is on air everywhere, that is raising dust in the internet, that's raising dust in the mind of people. People said, people came to my house for protest. Nobody came to my house for protest. And if you see the internet, they put my pictures, put protest areas there. I see people in my house protesting, which is not good. At the same time, there is threat over Nigerians in internet. Same time, there is threat that there will be protests on the 19th of this month in internet. Now, it is 100% normal for the state security to invite me, at least to hear from me, about all these whatever. Is it for real you have such accusation, or is it for real you are doing such thing? These are the purpose of the invitation, and I gave them answer to it. So nobody, I was not invited for any allegation. I was not invited for any crime because I didn't commit any crime.
Why won't you sue him if this is defamatory of your character?
Don't worry, we'll get there.
Do you plan to sue him?
Don't worry, we'll get there. That is my own personal issue. It's not for me and you. If I want to sue him, you are not the lawyer.
Oh, because you have said you leave him to God.
Madam, you are talking to a leader. I can't just be talking. I'm before television. Okay? Yeah, I leave him for God.
So what businesses do you do? I'm
into trade.
Okay.
You know, when you are growing in life, you go through so many businesses. Sometimes you can even have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 companies registering, working hard. At the time you get to a certain place. So I'm into children things called mother care. Okay. Chibet Mother Care is located in East Legon.
I see. So how did you start?
Withdraw it, because you see, the killing that is happening in Ghana here, go to the police station and take the report. Yeah. You will see that 80% are Nigerians, and they are all Igbos. There's no Yoruba man. There is no Fulani Hausa man. Yeah. Go and look at the murder cases where people have murdered people with heads, holding heads, and other things. Yeah, 99% is Igbos. Go and look for armed robbery, where people will stop cars. They are all over the whole country. They are in every part of Ghana, selling spare parts, bicycles, parts, what do you call it, phones, and they are a serious threat to our society and our sovereignty. They are the ones doing the armed robbery. Yeah. They are the ones doing the prostitution. Now you are comfortable allowing such a man, even telling him that they have, look, diplomatic ties does not mean that you should be foolish. No. Huh? Diplomatic ties doesn't mean you should be foolish and sell out your country. This is the only country we have, Ghana. When you go out there in foreign land, don't you behave like a gentleman? All of you ministers, when you go to your counterparts' countries, or you travel abroad, do you even rub your shoulders like this? You walk like this. And somebody is in your country walking like this, and you are comfortable with that person against your own people.
C'est nonsense. See, my let you know. If you lie, know if your mama, you not concern anybody. If your mama go smoke, if your mama smoke, get carabiner, ma slap your face. You know why? Because she said it boss the smoke loss. Synthetic cannabinoids. She's opinion. As soon as like Colorado opinion. What's gonna see? What's gonna see? What's gonna see?